Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a Public Works podcast. My name is Joseph Blackman, and today I got a real treat for you. Her name is Cristel Sias, and she is the board secretary at the Public Works Experience. Cristel, say what's up to everybody.
What's up, everybody? I'm Cristel. Nice to meet you.
Cristel, we're going to talk everything about Public Works Experience, but let's kind of dive into who Cristel is, just so people have some context of who they're listening to. Kind of give us your involvement in the public sector, and then we'll dive a little bit deeper.
Well, I like to call myself the Joe and Jane of the Public Works Experience. I'm the person on the other end who traditionally is calling when there's a problem, or I am the person who goes, I don't understand why they think they need to do that right now during this part of the day. I am the constituency that Public Works serves. I don't have any direct connection in the field in that way. Like, I'm not a skilled technician, but I realized that Public Works people needed to be honored and respected and appreciated for the jobs that they tirelessly deliver. And I'm doing my part to make that more recognizable.
No, and I love that because I feel like I got into it kind of the same way. Like, I've never worked on the agency side. I don't have a Public Works background. I got into it on the sales side, on the private side. I was selling equipment to municipalities, and then it realized that, like, dude, these people are doing everything for our community, everything for our country, everything for our local, again, like our neighborhoods, and they don't get any love or respect. And it's not like I need to just put on the cape for everybody, but when I feel an itch, I feel like I need to scratch it. That's where I came up with the podcast to kind of highlight the people in this industry. And I could tell you kind of have that same heart of like, hey, these people are doing really cool stuff, necessity work, like frontline essential worker type work. And there's nobody flying a flag for them. And you're here to help do that.
For sure. Public Works people are in it for the service. They're not in it for the recognition. So as much as we love them, they don't necessarily recognize themselves for the jobs that they do and for the essential part of community that they bring together, whether it's the roads that we travel on, connectivity to our internet services, to trash pickup. All of those things are critical to modern infrastructure and allow us to live the full, robust life that we live. We wouldn't be able to do that without public service.
Of course, I have plenty of answers, but why do you think that those in Public Works don't really, toot their horn, pat themselves on the back, kind of promote what they do? Like every other industry, they talk about, oh, you need us because we do this and that. But Public Works, just keeps going along and keeps getting things. So why do you think that is?
You know what? Because I think they're passionate about what they do. They're passionate about, urban design. They're passionate about rural infrastructure. They're passionate about wastewater and water conservatism. They're passionate about those things. They're even passionate about curb cuts and engineering. That's where their passion is. And people sometimes get in the way of their passions. But, I think they're really into the thing, and they hope to be able to transfer that excitement to the people who just travel to those things blindly and take them for granted. So we're just trying to make sure that that passion does get conveyed.
For sure. So let's dive into this Public Work Experience. Give us people a 30,000 foot view of what it is, what it looks like, feels like, sounds like. I know a little bit about it, but I'm eager to hear more.
Yeah, the Public Works Experience is a learning center, museum, a community convener, all around public works and bringing awareness to modern infrastructure. We are located in Baltimore, Maryland, inside of an active pumping station, the Eastern Avenue pumping station, where we are responsible for some of the best and finest water refinement in Baltimore City. On one side of the building is that active pumping station. The other side is the experience itself. We have exhibits that are dedicated to helping people see what they don't see. Our largest actually active art sculpture is called Streetscape. It allows you to see the streets from above and below. So not only do you see the traffic signals, the street signs, those kind of things that we're used to, but you also get to see where the water goes, how things are, how infrastructure is put underneath the streets when it comes to communications and fiber optic cables, where all those things live. You know, what happens when you lift that manhole cover, what's going on down there too. You can see it from the bottom. It's pretty cool.
That sounds pretty cool. What's usually like the main I guess main demographic or type of people that walk through your doors? Is it like middle school kids are coming on a field trip? Is it somebody who might work for the city and say, "Hey, I want to introduce my niece and nephew to what I do"? Like, kind of who comes to your doors on a daily basis?
You know, all those people come through our doors, but we're really clear that our largest audience are people that are in public works, because they're the ones who are really trying to convey that passion to other people about, look at these wonderful, magical things that are happening unbeknownst to regular people, right? And they are bringing with them their loved ones, their children, all of those supporters. And yes, we do have field trips. We also have partnerships with other organizations where we're bringing summer camps to our facility, so they also can learn about modern infrastructure from the inside out.
Sure, sure. And what else, I guess, happens at the space? You know, I've been a part of museums where at night they might have like a disco party. In the daytime, they might have some talks or something. Like, what are some of the other ways the space is used, I guess, in the public works regard?
Well, absolutely. We have really good partnerships with the Waterfront Partnership. Those are the purveyors of Mr. Trash Wheel. He lives just outside of our building on the Inner Harbor, and you can see him from our facility. So we do host a lot of parties and events in partnership with Mr. Trash Wheel to support the city. And I see the look on your face like, what
Mr.
is
Trash
Mr.
Wheel,
Trash Wheel?
is he 6'2",
Yes.
240 pounds of like
Much,
what is
much
it?
bigger, much,
Okay.
much bigger, and way more impressive. Mr. Trash Wheel is just that. He is a living paddle wheel that lives in our inner harbors and several other waterways in and around our area, and it helps filter through debris and waste that happens in our waterways. And it's a collection spot. It collects all of these debris and it helps cycle them out so we can have clean, swimmable waters.
Okay, okay. It's funny. My colleague Shane Silsby, I guess he was a part of a trash wheel in like California, and it's kind of like what you're saying. There's a lot of fanfare around it. I feel
There's a
like
huge fanfare around it. Yeah, there's
always an
Mr.
event
Trashville
or
has a
yeah.
family. There is Glenda. There's a baby trash wheel. They have birthday parties. And he has groupies. There is a cult following for Mr. Trash Wheel.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you go on our website, you'll see wonderful events that we've partnered with Mr. Trash Wheel. There was a Trashionista fashion show that we had where people came dressed as their best debris.
Okay, okay. I
Yeah.
gotta look for the trash wheel OnlyFans for sure. Um, was that strategic, the pairing of the trash wheel and the public works experience, or
You know, I think it
happenstance?
was a happy accident that
Okay.
just turned out to say, yes, it is intentional that we have this great partnership. It happened to live just outside of our doors, and it just made the best of sense for us to combine our mutual abilities. Mr.
Gotcha.
Thrashwell actually being a part of the public works infrastructure with keeping our waterways clear. And why not showcase that beautiful thing, that beautiful machine that's just outside our doors? And we've done all kinds of exhibits on the prototype to Mr. Trash Wheel, as well as how far he's evolved now and other cities who want trash wheels just like ours.
Sure, sure. Kind of a two-part question. You know, nonprofits, NGOs, I would say not-for-profit types of institutes need funding for. Let's say somebody wrote you a $500,000 check. You know, what would they get out of it? What would the public works experience do to kind of say, hey, thank you for the money. Here's what we're going to do with that, just to kind of blow up the experience or keep it going?
You know, we are really in the beginning stages of a capital campaign to build a second and third floor to make our museum a self-sustainable entity. And building that second and third floor would be the things that we would start to do with that large, generous donation. So we can keep making great art. And our art is awareness of public works, whether that is through our speaker series like No Water, No Beer. We actually have done documentary showcasing series in our theaters. with people who are about water and river conservation efforts. Again, learning events in schools. We want to do more hands-on activities, build out that space. And when we are finally finished with that second and third floor, we'll have 360 views of our beautiful downtown waterfront. And we just can't wait to make that a sustainable event space that people will be able to rent and visit.
I love that. I love it. There's nothing worse than asking somebody, "Hey, if I gave you a whole bunch of money, what are you going to do with it?" And they go, "Oh,
Oh, we got plans. We got plans. We got big plans. Yes, we do."
Sure, sure. How long has the public works experience been around? And then also, what would be the main, like, you tell somebody to go to the local restaurant, oh, because they got the best, fish tacos, or you say, "Hey, go watch this movie because this part or this actor's in it." What's kind of like that, that hook that you guys use when you tell somebody about it?
What we do to tell people about why they should come see the public works experience. One, we are in an historic site and inside an active pumping station. And most people don't even realize what that means or what that does for drinking water. And it's important that you understand where that stuff out of the faucet comes from and why it's able to you're able to safely drink it in Maryland. It's important to us. It's important in our region that we have clean drinking water. The public works experience is a shining star in that process. We want you to be able to come and see that. I mean, Baltimore has award-winning drinking water. So, come try us out. Come straight from the tap. But you asked me about how long the museum has been in existence. It actually has been in existence since the late 80s. It used to be called the Baltimore Public Works Museum. And they decided to get out of the museum business, when the boom happened in 2008. And my nonprofit, with several other organizers, was created to then take over the museum from Baltimore City. But they remain a trusted and important partner of our museum because they let us have the space, and it's a great partnership with that. And the DPW director sits on our board.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah, we've been on a long time, and we're looking forward to having even more time into the future. Sure. If we do the math altogether, we've been around probably more than 30 plus years.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And in 2 years, or maybe next year, something big is coming to town regarding public works.
Yeah.
I know you guys are, maybe you're licking your lips, you're pulling your hair out. Like, what are some of the things that you're getting prepped for such an influx of people in public works coming to Baltimore, potentially coming to the public works experience?
We're excited to welcome APWA's Public Expo to Baltimore in a couple of years. And we're working with them to build a monument actually to fallen heroes of public works. So we're really excited about welcoming thousands of people into our town to really showcase what Baltimore has been able to do for modern infrastructure, as well as, showcase all the vendors and all the education that happens during that great conference that APWA puts on. And we're looking forward to being a key player during that experience when they're here.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm going to make a beeline over to you during that. If I'm not out there before, then I'm for sure stop by.
For sure. I think the APWA is definitely working with us to figure out our best spot to shine during that event. And it won't be too far away from us. You'll be more than available to come through and take a tour, I'm sure.
For sure. What's Cristel's day-to-day? Secretary, I'm a secretary on the board. It's kind of, sometimes there's a lot of work, sometimes there's really nothing to do. Kind of what's Cristel's involvement in your day-to-day with being a part of the experience?
It definitely has its peaks and valleys, which I'm not mad at. A lot of it is bringing awareness to public works. So talking to people like you and getting the word out about how we are open every Saturday, which is new for us too. And it's also about, finding those funds to support the museum. It's also about making sure we're moving in the right strategic direction to be able to get those second and floors built. We want to make those things a reality, not just a good dream.
Sure. For the 20 trillion people that listen to this podcast, what can they do to help personally? I mean, we know how big companies, they can write big checks, but what can, Jim Bob, who's listened to this episode, he wants to help fund it, help see that second and third floor get built. What can they do to help, aside from spread the word or donate money, just what can they do to help out?
So, really simple things that you can do is follow us on social media, because awareness to public works is part of what we're doing. And social media is a real easy way to bring awareness. So the more followers, the more connections that we have, whether it's on LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook, helps us drive awareness, because your network becomes our network and we're able to spread it exponentially to everybody. And on those social media channels, we're always highlighting things that people may take for granted, things that are seen yet unrecognized as value add in our society, as well as what's going on at the museum and those great events that we're talking about, whether it's a summer camp with the National Association of Women in Construction, or it is working with the Waterfront Partnership on one of their environmental field trips that we have coming through. All those things are put up on our website. I mean, there's Bubble Palooza. We have a back to school event. It's a phone party for young people in our courtyard, right? We do all kinds of things to engage with our community, and that's how you can find us and help spread the word about public works. Follow us on social media for sure.
I like it. I like it. My wife and I, we got married during COVID, but we couldn't have a ceremony because all the venues were closed down. So does the public works experience open themselves up for weddings?
We do, actually. We've had a couple of wedding parties.
No way. I was joking, but
no,
you're serious.
We have had a wedding, because we're actually in really close proximity to the aquarium, which is a huge feature, but it's also very expensive. And if you're not able to rent out the whole aquarium for your entire event's day, come see us. We're a little bit cheaper on the scale of things. We're a little bit smaller in terms of size of things, but we're definitely accessible for private events.
Sure. Love it. What did I miss? Where can people find more about the Public Works Experience?
Well, they need to visit our website. We're at thepublicworksexperience.org. And on social media, our handle is PW Rocks on most of those outlets. But come find us, come see us, visit our website. We've got some videos up there with LiDAR footage of our museum. You can see our classic building, as well as learn some history about the museum, where it's been, Baltimore, how it's developed, and how it actually started out to be a trendsetter when it comes to public works and infrastructure. Yeah. I'm eager to see that I guess that exhibit on what it looks like on top of the ground versus underground, like all the utilities under there. Streetscape, super cool. It's super cool. Yeah.
Cool.
It's very cool.
Will there be any other public works experiences popping up on like the West Coast, maybe, in the future?
We're one of a kind, and we want to keep it that way, because we're special. We want to be recognized for what we do, but we're always willing to feature partners from all over the world and showcase public works work, whether it's happening in the subways of the UK or in the ancient aqueducts of Rome. All of those things are public works, and we choose to highlight them as part of modern infrastructure.
Yeah. Cristel, well, thanks for hopping on. Thanks for sharing more about the public works experience. I mean, I really appreciate what you guys are doing. It's something that it's a need. So I could see why you guys have been around for 30 plus years. To all the listeners out there, make sure you check out the website. Make sure you figure out a way how you can get involved. If you're going to be in the area in a couple of years for PWX, make sure you let me know and let's stop by together and go bug Cristel. And Cristel, any final words before we get out of here?
Look, public works rocks. Your listeners know it. No need to tell them. Just tell a friend who may not understand the importance of everything in our modern infrastructure.
Love it. Well, Cristel, this has been the Public Works Podcast, and thank you everybody for tuning in.